My name is John Cadle, and I'm the interim chair of biology here at East Georgia State College. And the people assembled here today are in memory of David Allen Bertoch, who was a former employee here at the college, and we'll learn more about him in just a moment. We're happy to have some family members here representing David and Alex Ballard from the Georgia Forestry Commission, as well as several other people from the college here. This is an annual event for us. We do a tree planting, usually in association with Arbor Day, but this year, because of a number of things, including COVID, things are organized a bit differently. And so we are planting a tree this month in December as part of our service learning part of being a tree campus. We are part of that consortium of the university and college campuses that promote planting of trees and recognizing the importance of natural landscapes and so on. So that's the purpose of doing this right now. As I say, this tree that we plant every year is in memory or in commemoration of an individual that is in some way associated with the college. And this year it's David Bertoch, and I'm going to ask a member of his family, Lisa Bertoch, to say a few words about him, and then we'll get into the planting activities.
Hi, my name is Lisa Bertoch. David Bertoch was my husband. He passed away in 2001. He come here from Lawrence County, Georgia, and took a job as being admissions specialist here at East Georgia College, or it was East Georgia College at the time, and he was here until he passed in 2001. And anybody that knew him would know that he was very outgoing. He loved his family and he loved his co-workers. And when he come here from Lawrence County, he didn't realize that he would get an extended family here at East Georgia College. Most of my family have either attended or both have attended and graduated from here. So East Georgia College has always been home for us, and now it is East Georgia State College. He would love to see how this college has grown and expanded, and even though many of the people that he worked with before were not here, there's still a few that remain. And with planting of this tree, it's going to be in honor and in memory of him. And as we are no longer on this earth, things are still changing on the earth, and it will continue to grow and expand, and it's just an honor. And he sure loved his sister-in-law who bought this tree in honor of him, and so we're just thankful, and we're thankful for this institution and what it means to our family and to our community.
Our next speaker is Mr. Alex Ballard. He's the community forester that represents this area of the Georgia Forestry Commission. He's our helper in all of these events because he knows all about trees and tree planting and is much more knowledgeable about those kinds of things than I am. So I'm going to hand it over to him to say a few words about what we're doing.
My name is Alex Ballard. I'm a community forester for the Georgia Forestry Commission. I'm glad to be invited out today for this tree planting event. As I always am, I'm always excited to plant trees wherever I go. So today we'll actually be planting a swamp chestnut oak, which is the scientific name is the Quercus machoxi. I have it here. So this is it here, and this tree mature will be about 60 to 100 foot tall. It has a crown spread of about 40 to 60 foot, so it's actually it's a pretty wide crown spread on this tree, and it has more of a round shape. Also, the leaves, it does get fall color. You can see it here. It's, you know, the reds are coming out here, the chlorophyll's changing. And it's actually a beautiful tree and has many other purposes. So you would usually find this tree in a bottomland area where you would find most of your bottomland oaks. But this one is good for birds, all the, you know, the acorns, the birds love that. It's also used for, back in the day, it was used for basket making. The tree itself, the wood can be split very easily and be made into baskets. So neat fact for the day, and we'll take you over to the planting hole and we'll talk about it more there. We're here at the planting hole now, and the first step to planting a tree is what? Dig the hole. You could have a fantastic tree and put it in a terrible hole, and it will result in a terrible tree for the rest of its life. So it is very high of importance to get this planting hole the correct space or the correct width and depth to make sure that your tree will thrive for years to come. This is what I was talking about with the planting hole. You don't want to have a cylindrical, just circle hole here. You want to make it more of a bowl shape so that when those roots grow out, they don't have to just go up against a straight wall. I also like to take it and scar the edges of the hole like this. And this allows the roots somewhere to go, because if you leave it sheeted off like this, those roots will hit the side of that wall and they'll grow up or they'll grow in a circle, and you want those roots to grow out and anchor the tree down and get the nutrients that it needs. Alright, so the big rule of thumb here when planting containerized trees, you want to pull them out and you really want to look at that root ball to make sure about it, because the big thing with these potted plants like this, as they grow in the nursery, those roots grow out and they hit the side of this pot and they start growing in a circle. So when you pull it out, you really want to spread those roots apart to give them a fair chance at growing in this new hole here. So this one here, you can't really see it, but there's a few roots on the side. So what you want to do is just kind of, you want to rough it up and you want to get those roots out, and you don't want to leave it intact like this. You just want to tease the roots a little bit here, rough them up. Don't go cutting them around, but you know, you can cut a few if you need to if they're real bad. What you don't want is a big root circling. So the next step is to plant this tree. And here, as you can see, I put it here, and this tree is way too low for this hole, so we're going to have to do a lot of more backfilling before we actually settle this tree. So now that I've put some more soil in there, we're going to set this on top, and it looks, what you want to pull this off a little bit, and you want to find your top roots. You want your top roots just under soil grade. So we'll get this all settled, and what I like to do is I like to use my shovel and lay it down and kind of check to see what the height is. And you want this just above soil grade. So we want to bring this up just a little bit more, because you want this above the original grade, because when it rains, this will actually settle in a little more, and a lot of times that's what happens, and these trees sink, and then they're getting too much water and not enough oxygen in the ground. So this tree looks good here. It's at the correct grade that it needs to be, and the next thing you want to do is just kind of, you want to turn the tree and get it how you want it in the hole. So you find the side that looks good, you put that towards what you want to, people to see your tree there, and you make sure it's straight. So this tree's a little crooked here, it goes out, but what you want to look at is the bottom 6 inches here, and make sure that it is straight in the hole, and the sun will do the rest, and this tree will grow towards the sun. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put backfill on there, and you want to pack it in, but you don't want to pack it in too tight. You want to get the tree to where it's sturdy and it's not moving, but you don't want it to where it's going to mess up those roots trying to grow out in the future. I've put the dirt back on here, and I've purposely done it wrong to show you why. So when I put it on here, I piled a lot of dirt up around the butt roots over here of this trunk. So what you want to do is not do that. You want to pull it all out about 6 inches away from the trunk and then spread it. You don't want to pile stuff up against this trunk, because it causes a lot of problems for this tree in the future. So next, what you want to do is you want to water this tree. A lot of people want to plant trees and just forget about them. You have to water these trees for the first 2 years of its life so that it can get established and it can live on its own at that point. After 2 years, you have enough root growth to where it's getting nutrients from all this area. So on this tree, we recommend for per caliper inch, which is measured 6 inch above the soil grade on the stem, for every inch of caliper, you want to water it 5 to 7.5 gallons. This tree here is probably half an inch, so we'll give it about 5 gallons a week. And maybe during the summer months, we might double that to 10 gallons a week or twice a week. But it's better to water one good time a week than a little bit every single day. So one solid deep watering, because you want that soil you want it to get flush with water, and then you want it to drain out, and then you want to give it more water. You don't just want to give it a little bit each day. So one solid time a week is way better. We want to put mulch around this tree because it has so many beneficial factors to it. It keeps weeds out. It keeps people from cutting the grass around it, from harming this tree. It offers a lot of organisms that can live in that mulch that are beneficial to this tree as well. So when you put mulch around it, you kind of want to put mulch all the way around the drip line of the tree. So as far out as that crown goes is where you would really want to put the mulch when they're younger. And you want to put it about 2 to 3 inches thick. You don't want to get any thicker than that. And just like the soil, you don't want to pile your mulch up around the butt of your tree. You want to put the mulch on and then kind of rake it back away from that main stem. So after that, you'll be great, and your tree will be happy, and it will be ready for sun and water from here on out.